I'll spare you my planned spiel about Fallout 4's arsenal size and utility since I've said my piece on that time and time again and just get right to the main course. The minigun is an awful weapon in Fallout 4. It's never really been a great gun across the 3D Fallout titles since it suffers from that odd video game affliction where because it fires fast the developers figure that each shot should only tickle someone. The minigun feels like it gets the worst treatment here though. With a base damage of 8 per shot, it's hardly winning any prizes, but the biggest drawback is the combination of the rate of fire and availability of ammunition. A regular 10mm pistol can kill a starting raider in sometimes as few as 2 shots, but the minigun needs to fire about 20 times that to deal the same amount of damage, and that's provided the target is close, as the minigun itself is hideously inaccurate. I have long regarded it as the worst firearm in the entire game. It deals low damage, its ammo is hard to find, and even when you can get to a level where the ammo is at least, well, not common, but more readily available to purchase from merchants, you'll mostly be dealing with enemies that have way too much damage resistance or way too much health in order to make it a viable choice. It barely doesn't need damage, it eats through ammo way too quickly, and said ammo is harder to find than a Burger King meal that doesn't make me shit myself to death. I keep one in a playthrough for decoration in my home base, and the rest are scrapped since it's awful, but then again, I used to think that the deeply upsetting laser musket was a terrible weapon until I did that playthrough where I, dominated with it. I have to wonder if through careful perk investments and through making use of some of Fallout 4's other systems, could I craft a build where the minigun was, if not the same god tier weapon, at least passable enough to beat the game with? Yeah, sure, I don't see why not. So, let's do our usual rule defining. Ooh, got a burp. Anus. I'm very sorry about that, but I found that very amusing, so I'm just going to leave that in the recording. Anyway, let's do our usual rule defining. The only weapon I'm allowed to use for combat is the minigun. I can use a legendary version if I find one, but no sidearms, no throwables, and of course no melee weapons. I cannot recruit companions to do the fighting for me. My usual caveat for moments that require me to be accompanied by an NPC is of course in play, and I must complete the nuclear option quest to end the run. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy this mess, sub to the channel for more content, or leave a comment if you like. I do love reading people's comments. I am also open to suggestions for future runs, so, leave one of those down there if you've got one. So, with that all said, let's see if I can beat Fallout 4 using only a minigun. And I'm only now realising that actually sounds a lot easier than it probably will be. As always, we start with character creation. Yeah, I can work with this. As for our name, I'm going to be as unsubtle as humanly possible, and since the big gun skill is tied to strength, we're going to give ourselves a few extra points up there today. So now we just have to wait for the war to start, our baby to be kidnapped, and our husband to be murdered. We're going to skip ahead. There we go, ready to begin our adventure. With there being no minigun in the vault, we're going to have to resort to our usual tactic of running away and trapping rad roaches behind doors. If the buggers would play ball. Then once we've successfully secured the entrance, all we have to do is wait for them to de-aggro, take our Pip-Boy, open the door, and exit into the wasteland. Now for a little bit of run planning. Actually getting a hold of a minigun is easy enough, all I have to do is run to Concord and there's one waiting on the roof for me. The real problem is going to be our namesake, bullets. Until we get to about level 20, ammo merchants won't carry 5mm ammo. Actually, that's a bit of a fib. Some merchants will carry 5mm ammo, but only about 6 or 7 bullets at a time. For reference, the minigun fires anywhere between 10 and 12 bullets per second. So, yeah, things are looking a bit dire already. First things first, I'm going to quickly run home and grab the comic book so I can sell it off later, and the special book to choose 1 extra point. We'll go for... yeah, fuck it, we'll stick with intelligence. Now we can head out to grab our gun. It's just a short walk to Concord, then dodge the raiders, then just head straight inside the Museum of Freedom. Oh right, we get a level up for getting here. Cool. You might be thinking that we're going to be taking the first rank of Heavy Gunner first, and I thought about that, but in the end I decided to take Hat Collector first instead. You might be thinking, why have I taken that perk so early? I'm not going to find anywhere near enough ammo to make the perk worth it just yet, and you're right. I've actually got another plan for getting my hands on all the ammo I could ever need. Said plan promises to be incredibly expensive. Oh, and if you're wondering, I'm hacking this terminal that unlocks the door that I just unlocked because I still get XP for hacking the terminal if I unlock it after I unlock the door, whereas you don't if you do it vice versa. Anyway, now we just have to rush to the roof to get our gun. So I'm very sorry, raiders, I know you're putting a lot of effort into your attack here, but I just can't be part of it just yet. Now I've just got to get that parkour. Yeah. Now I just got to grab the power armor, and just like that, we've got our minigun. Oh, if only you knew what you were applauding for. Let's have a look at our weapon in action. On the surface, it looks quite good, right? Well, forgive me for not sharing your optimism. We've already spent over 100 rounds of ammo, and that's only down to 2 raiders. An unmodified 10mm pistol could do this with less ammo cost. And also keep in mind that these are the most basic bitch version of this enemy type that we can find. We should also keep in mind that there is absolutely no way to upgrade the minigun's receiver. We can upgrade the barrel to change its damage output, but the problem with that is the very first barrel upgrade, that's locked behind rank 3 of gun nut, and that requires me to be at level 25, so I'm afraid all of our damage boost is going to have to come from a couple of perks. On the plus side though, I won't have to spend too long scrounging for resources for gun upgrades, although I'm going to have to scrounge for resources for something else. That something else is a part of my master plan, and I'm now going to tell you what that plan is. Since ammo is going to be really hard to buy, we're going to make use of the ammo forge added by the Contraptions DLC workshop pack. Of course there are still some perk investments we need in order to build the damn thing, but if you know Fallout 4 and myself by now, you know exactly how I'm going to get those perks. Let's build. No, wait, I need resources first. Let's go and buy some resources and then build. Hi Carla, I need a lot of steel and a lot of wood. Do you have either of those things? Also, you can take all these bullets, I'm not going to use them. And since we're here, we might as well deal with Trudy. As always, I'm going to see if I can do it diplomatic-like. Having an additional merchant is always helpful. Come on, Trudy, I have a big gun. It's got to intimidate you a little bit. No, she doesn't give a shit. Okay, I guess we're killing Wolfgang. Hey, Wolfgang, guess who's turning on you? Oh boy, Simone can really eat a lot of bullets, can't she? And I've just noticed how low my health is. I should probably... Huh. Well, I can't cure death. Okay, take 2. Let's see if we can do this. Wolfgang, how about you lower your gun? I have a much bigger gun. Oh, come on, how does that not work? I'm feeling kind of salty about that one. You know what? How about a joke to lighten the mood? A man walks into a bar and orders 1 shot of tequila. He drinks it, then goes across the street and jumps off the roof of the 10-story building opposite the bar. Just before he hits the floor, he stops, stands up, and goes and orders another shot of tequila. A second man at the bar sees this and says, "Well, buddy, how do you do that?" The first man says, "Oh, it's easy. All you have to do is drink the tequila and you won't hit the floor." So the second man orders a shot of tequila, he drinks it, then runs to the building across the street, jumps off the top, and falls to his death. The bartender then turns to the first man and says, "Superman, you're such a cunt when you're drunk." There you go, that's one of my favourite jokes ever. And I realised that Wolfgang has been dead for like most of that joke, but I wasn't gonna stop. Look, the game liked it gave me a level up. We're gonna be putting that point onto gun nut so I can finally build that machine. Oh wait, no, I still also need science. We're halfway there.
Friends all over, know I'm proud.
So I did a bit of shopping, spent a lot of time building. I've now got a lovely warehouse to set up all my foundries in. I also did a bit of decorating. This is going to be my house after all. And thanks to my abuse of the building mechanic, I was able to get a whole 2 extra levels under my belt. First and foremost, we're taking the science skill. That will allow us to actually, build the foundry. And because I already think I've put it off enough, we're going to take the first rank of heavy gunner. Well, look at that. My cup runneth over. An extra 1 point of damage to every bullet we fire. Which, given the fact that we fire a lot of bullets, might sound pretty good. But that's relying on the fact that those bullets actually hit the target. Anyway, we can now build our ammo foundry. No, we can't. You know what, I'm almost positive that there's some circuitry lying around in Sanctuary Hills somewhere, so give me a moment.
And I can't get on.
Nope, can't be bothered, I'm gonna go buy some. Curing our laziness problem with capitalism. Now we can build our ammo forge. Just like this, we'll never be short of ammo again. In theory, anyway. The next hurdle is going to be finding the raw materials to spit out the ammo we need. Fortunately enough, 5mm ammo is quite easy to build. Unlike most other ammo types, it doesn't require any lead, which is actually kind of tricky to get a hold of, but fertilizer and steel, I can get that in droves. First up, we'll quickly search the workshop to see if it's got any of the materials. Then it's time for another shopping trip. Oh hey Carla, I need metal and poo. No, I'm not weird. Fortunately enough, Carla here is a junk merchant and they almost always sell fertilizer in some form. Usually a couple of bags at a time, but if you're lucky you might even get a shipment. Well, I mean, Carla won't sell the shipments, at least not yet. But Crazy Murder and Percy in Diamond City definitely will, and since they both draw from separate inventory pools, gathering the resource won't be anywhere near as time consuming as it otherwise would be. But first of all, let's head back to Sanctuary to see our machine in action. Let's just dump all the poo inside the machine, and 10 bullets. A whole 10 bullets. That is not ideal. And after standing here and timing this thing as it chugs away, it makes bullets once every 8 seconds or so. Stunning. So let's try and do some quick mathematics here. It spits out 10 bullets every 8 seconds. A full magazine of minigun ammo is 500 bullets, so a full drum of ammo takes about 400 seconds or just over 7 minutes. Now that doesn't sound too terrible, but there's a few things we have to learn about this machine. It only works so long as it's rendered. If you fast travel or just walk far enough away from it, it's not going to keep producing bullets while you're absent, it only works whilst you're in the room with it, essentially. And a single drum of minigun ammo can be burned through in about... hold on a second. Apparently the minigun's actual fire rate is about 27 rounds per second, which is more than what I thought it was. So it's going to take the minigun under 20 seconds to empty the full magazine. So for every 20 seconds of firing we want to do, we have to wait 7 minutes. Oh dear. Let's also add to the fact that I'd rather have a significant safety cushion of bullets so I don't risk having to repeat a process over again. I think a good bullet goal to have would be, I don't know, 20,000 rounds? That should probably suffice. Buckle up everyone, we're going on a bit of a shopping spree. This means we're going to have to get to Diamond City to unlock the better traders, but on our way, we find the Lexington Bank. This is my favourite location in Fallout 4. It's always got a lot of pre-war money to offer, and all you really have to do to get the area to respawn is fast travel away and then fast travel back. Based on my own repeated play sessions, the best way to ensure this happens properly is to not enter any of the internal cells of the area. I can't prove that actually makes the thing spawn back quicker, it just always feels like that's what happens, so don't take that as anything other than hearsay. But from this trip alone, we've already found a ton of pre-war money which we can use for trading. Now we just have to get to a trader without expending any ammunition. Thankfully enough, all the time I've spent doing these Fallout 4 runs has basically got the walk through Lexington down to a science. I know exactly how to avoid all of the combat encounters. I mean, look at this, we're already by College Square and we haven't used any bullets. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to use any bullets, but I kind of want to take the minigun for a proper test run against these ghouls. And it is really not great. It took just under 50 rounds to down a single ghoul, so that's already about 40 seconds of waiting I'm going to have to do to get those bullets back. And that's only going to get worse because for some reason I chose to do anything in this fight. All you really have to do is just be here in the area, and so long as Dads fights off the ghouls eventually, which he will because he can't be killed at this stage, you'll still get the rewards for helping even if you didn't help. So why did I not just hide? Why? Veronica, why are you like this? Why do you play games like this? Why do you put all that time into learning exactly what to do only to not fucking do it? Nah, but for real, this entire fight is a perfect example of why the minigun is so poor. Its accuracy is atrocious, the damage it deals is terrible, and one of my personal gripes about this weapon is it has absolutely no iron sights. So you've always got to add one yourself if you want any hope of aiming at something. Anyway, there you go, Dance, I helped you out. How about you give me some experience? Ah, thank you. Sure, I'll help you. Maybe. Possibly. Probably not. Either way, by doing that, we completed fire support and got another level up. Part of me has to wonder that given the fact that the minigun is very clearly automatic, will it also benefit from the commando perk? Well, let's see. It does not. Fuck it, we're gonna save scum, I don't want to lose a whole level up point. Instead, we're gonna take the Scrounger perk. Any chance of finding any extra ammo is really gonna help. Anyway, on to Diamond City we go, and you can bet your bollocks we're gonna be avoiding every optional combat encounter on the road. Since nothing interesting happened during the journey, let's just skip right to Diamond City, although what we're about to do is also not all that interesting. I'm basically going to be spending the next few hours in-game just sort of buying up Crazy Murder's stock, then travelling back home to dump it all in the ammo forge before repeating the cycle. Oh fuck a sandwich, this is going to take a long time. This is a perfect time to talk about our corporate sponsor, hydrogen-free water. Have a glass with a slice of bread-free toast. Do you want to spend all day doing nothing? Then start it with nothing. Just in case you needed me to clarify this, I'm not actually sponsored by hydrogen-free water. Anyway, the next few hours worth of gameplay is basically me just staring at this machine, going back to Diamond City, getting more parts, and staring at the machine again. Oh, suck my ass, this is so boring. Luckily enough, there are some ways we can, well, not optimise what we're doing, but make it a little less painful. First things first, we're gonna need some razor grain. So let's head to University Point, one of the only places I remember off by heart that actually has any. In hindsight, there are probably easier places to find it, places that weren't, say, overrun with synths that are a significantly higher level than myself. So the already terrible damage of my minigun is gonna be significantly worse. Oh well, at least they're not legendary. Oh, I've wasted so much ammo already. But in case you're wondering, let me explain this next part of my plan. We need the razor grain to build a Brahmin cage. Brahmin produce fertilizer when they're at your settlement. Granted, it's not a lot, each cow is only worth like one piece of dung per day, but it will definitely help with our supply issue. Of course, I still need to be able to actually build the cage, although luckily I'm only missing one component. Let me just quickly pop to Trudy's. Hey Trudy, have you got any— oh for fuck's sake, will you set up some defences already? And look at her, she's just standing in there like a dickhead. Fuck it, you ain't worth the bullets. Oh, that went spectacularly. Ah, crap, I'm on fire. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Oh wait, there they are, you slippery little fuck. What do you think is stronger, your skull or my big gun? That would be his skull. Oh boy, this is going to be a close one. It's fine. All of my bleeding is internal. That's where the blood's supposed to be. Hey, you're welcome for me fighting them off, by the way, Trudy. Before I pass out from the pain, do you have any, do you got any gears? Oh yeah, we're in business. I'll build the cage in a minute. I think I should sleep off this internal hemorrhaging first. And time for a regularly scheduled reminder to never take medical advice from me. Right, let's wrangle us a Brahmin. Or maybe 2 Brahmin? Fuck it, let's get ourselves 2 poop machines. It's just a shame that whilst they have 2 heads, they only have the 1 anus each. Now I've just got to scrap some more parts to be able to build the next stuff. There we go. And there we are. Everything's all hooked up. Now we just have to wait. Ah crap, I'm back to waiting again. Luckily, I've recruited some settlers so that they can tend to the razor grain field. That way, once we capture a couple of Brahmin, it's easy enough to set the cages up for another couple cows. Well, back to the ammo grind. Thrilling. Okay then.
It's all over but the ground.
Well, I passed some of my time doing building, but there's only so much you can really do when you have to stay within render distance of the machine. And whilst I was doing that, because the game hates me, some feral ghouls decided to attack us. And initially, in the heat of the moment, I wasted a bunch of bullets on them. Yay. On the plus side, building an entire extra house bumped me up another level. I put the point straight onto charisma to try and mitigate some of the huge expense that is buying raw materials. Also, after one of my trips to Diamond City, I came back to see my Brahmin cages were full. Come on out, my lovely new— oh wait, this isn't Stardew Valley, I can't actually name them. Damn it, Fallout 4, why are you Fallout 4 and not Stardew Valley? With the cows and cages sorted, it's back to waiting some more. No, fuck that, I'm not ready for the long haul just yet. We're gonna head to Bunker Hill so we can unlock an extra trader. I mean, granted, Debbie's stock is usually shit, but it's better to have her than not have her, I guess. Oh no, exploding mole rat, go away, go away, go away, go away. Ow. At least the rest of the trip was painless. Hello, I'm new here. Please let me in, I'm not a weirdo. Haha, joke's on you, I'm gonna lick everyone's eyeballs. They're nature's grapes. You know, aside from grapes. Anywho, hi Deb, do you have any poo for me? That's a no-go on the fecal matter situation, but she does have some things that have steel in them, which is part of the recipe, I suppose. Well, back we go, let's get some sleep, and oh look, my cage has captured another Brahmin. I better build some troughs for them to eat out of. Now we just dump everything back in the ammo machine and—
It's all over but the ground.
So, it's been a while. I spent some time building, then building some more, leveled up, put the point straight onto medic. During one of my resupply missions to Diamond City, I stopped in and did Piper's interview for some XP. At one point, I realised I was at risk of running out of bottle caps, so I quickly popped a Starlight Drive-In, cleared out the local mole rat infestation, set up a water farm. That got me to level 10. I put the point onto Bloody Mess, and then spent the rest of my time repeatedly robbing the bank, harvesting water, and selling it all for a fuck ton of caps. And of course, between all these little outings, I had to sit in the Ammo Foundry version of the cuck chair. This whole endeavour was awful, and it's not even over yet. We're up to nearly 9,000 bullets, so that's alright, we're under halfway to our goal. But given the fact that I desperately needed a break from staring at the ammo forge, I decided, yeah, let's just go and deal with the triggermen. I think we've got enough bullets. I think in all that time I found like 20 bullets being sold by merchants. On the plus side, it's piss easy to get to the triggermen. At least it is when the game doesn't, you know, fucking crash. It crashed here, and I had to redo the entire walk. It wasn't difficult, it was just frustrating. Ah well, at least I got through the entire journey unmurdered. Okay, yeah, mooks, here's the deal. I've got some issues to work out all over your face. So if you could do me the courtesy of, you know, dying to this salvo of bullets, that would be lovely. It took half an ammo drum to kill everyone in this room. Oh dear. And keep in mind that a large percentage of our ammo is just going to miss. Thanks to my investments in the Heavy Gunner and Bloody Mess perk, I am doing slightly more damage. I think I'm up to 12 now, by which I mean 12 damage per bullet, which isn't too bad, until you realise that most of these triggermen are actually taking longer to down than the basic raiders were. Again, keep in mind that this is with our damage buffs. The actual combat encounters themselves are dirt simple. All I have to do is walk up to a guy and hold down the fire button. Hold my Titan, fuck you. I always forget that some triggermen are just randomly tougher than the others, but at least clearing out this area goes smoothly. Let's head inside. Dakka 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 dakka. Oh, level up. Dakka first, level later. Dakka 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 dakka. There we go. What time is it? It's Dakka time. Oh cool, I was wrong about the damage buff. We're only at 11. Hey Dino, why can't you starve in the desert? because I fucking shot you. Yeah, that wasn't even really a joke, was it? Would you believe that spending the majority of a 2-hour stretch staring at an ammo machine left me a little bit bitter? Let's quickly finish off the vault. As always, I did try to end things diplomatically upstairs, but it didn't work. Sorry, Skinny, I did try to be nice. Well, that was fucking dreadful. Even the critical hits can't really save this thing. At least Darla had the courtesy to die in a single hail of gunfire. I mean, she basically just got shredded out of existence. It was kind of funny. But yeah, clearing out the vault was generally quite easy. Although I do think it mostly just feels easy because in this run I'm allowed to use healing items. But there we go, Triggermen destroyed, Nick Valentine saved. We can now progress the main story. I figured this would be a good enough time to just pop in on Nick and get the whole interview stage sorted. So whilst sitting and looking very normal, I explained the whole baby being kidnapped and husband being killed thing. He says Kellogg's probably behind it, I say who, he says murderer, it's time to go and search his house. Oh wait, I can't search his house, I need the key. I never have a master lock skill by the time I'm at this point. Well, let's go and get the key from the second worst video game mayor. Obviously Mayor Lewis is the first mayor. Nah, I'm just gonna bribe the secretary to get the key. That's way easier. Anyway, now we can go back and search the house. There's nothing here of value. Oh wait, a secret room. Dun dun dun. It's a very dramatic reveal. Luckily enough, Kellogg left his odour behind, so all we need now is a doggo to follow the scent. Now let's see if Lady Luck consents to smile and doesn't spawn a Deathclaw here for us. Oh no, it spawned a bunch of super mutants, all with missile launchers. 'Cause fuck me, I guess. And like last time, I made a mistake of saving too close to this particular random encounter location, so it's locked in. At least this time around, if I take damage I can actually recover from that, but I'd still prefer if these dickheads weren't here. Like, why do all of them have to spawn with missile launchers? That's just mean. And well, watch out, you just shot your buddy. That was rude. You guys are rude, you're bad friends. You know, not that he seems to fucking mind. I guess we're gonna have to use some bullets to get through this. There we go, that didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought it would. Now we just have to deal with the rest of your raiding party. I will say the minigun is spitting out more damage than I thought it would. I do think it helps that super mutants are quite big and therefore it's a bit harder to miss them. Of course, this one encounter has already cost us half of a drum. Call me crazy, but before we actually fight Kellogg, we might have to go back to base and build some more bullets just to be on the safe side. I don't want to run out mid-fight. And the wildlife are really taking a toll. The same goes for the Walking Dead over here. Again, where were you in my laser musket only run, you bastard? Before too long we find our way to Fort Hagen, where Kellogg is hiding out. You know what, I'm sure we'll be fine, we're just gonna go for it. Very rare is it to find a synth inside this building that's actually wearing armour, so I don't have to worry about enemy damage threshold too much. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm really happy with how quickly the minigun is eating through the enemy's health up here. Generally speaking, clearing these first few floors was really easy. Between the relatively low health of the synths and the claustrophobic environment, they can't stand up to a salvo of bullets and they can't really avoid it either. I get to Kellogg and going guns blazing, which looks like it'll be enough to down him in a single volley until he fucking takes cover, and while I'm dealing with some of his cronies, he lands a few fatal shots. Like a bitch. Let's go for round 2. It is safe to say that he has the advantage in this fight. It takes me several seconds of sustained fire to do to him what he could do to me in a couple of bullets. Plus he brought his friends, so I figured maybe I should step back and take cover. It didn't fucking work. I've got to believe that was payback for me throwing grenades into the room on my last playthrough. Oh yeah, if I do try to move back and take cover, half of my bullets are gonna miss because the accuracy of this gun is terrible. Fortunately enough, Cornflake's AI eventually takes him into this corner that he doesn't ever seem to be able to get out of. Rest in peace, you soggy bowl of subpar cereal. With Kellogg dead and our child provably not here, I go back to Nick and tell him it's time to invade someone's memories. Time to head to the memory den in Good Neighbor. As I think will become my tradition, as soon as I walk into Good Neighbor, I mow down Finn, get a pat on the back by the mayor, then before I progress any further, I see if Cleo here has any 5mm ammo for me. The answer is no, she doesn't, and I'm already down to just under 4,000 rounds. But that does mean that between the Triggermen, the synths, and the various wildlife we had to kill on the way to Kellogg, we've already spent 5,000 rounds. That's not exactly a lot of bang for my buck. Anyway, let's violate this brain. One more light and one more time, thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so. There we go, found what we're looking for. Now we know to hunt for the scientist Virgil in the glowing sea. And completing this quest gets us to level 13. Fuck it, let's throw a point onto Life Giver. I probably should have taken Lone Wanderer. Why did I not think to do that? We'll do it next time. It's time for my usual beeline towards the glowing sea. All my training pays off when I'm able to avoid every fight on the way there, and it was nice to have some time to reflect on the run so far. In terms of actual challenge, the run hasn't been too difficult. As long as I can close the distance on any enemy I'm fighting, I'll be able to keep them in the damage cone of the minigun. Because I keep getting up close and personal, I almost guarantee that almost every bullet I fire will hit. So that sort of counters the low damage per shot. So while the minigun might not be the perfect weapon, it's still not quite as bad as I thought it would be if you know how to play with it. But I can very easily see why so many people, myself included, just don't like this thing. Admittedly, my main reason for hating it is that you don't even get the cool ammo backpack like you used to get in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I know it's a small issue, but like, I liked the backpack. Why did Fallout 4 do away with holstered weapons and backpacks? Oh hey, look, it's the Sting Brigade. They were a problem last time. At least this time I'm medically prepared for this situation. I mean, it could have gone smoother, but at least so far none of them are legendary enemies, even if they can take all these bullets like a champ. Something else I always forget is how many rad scorpions just happen to be in this area. Who'd have thunk I might find a lot of radioactive bugs in the radioactive location? What a crazy happenstance. Well, technically it's a radioactive arachnid, but that's... no wait, is it? Are they arachnids? Hold on a second. Yes they are. There was a tiny bit of me that was worried they were going to be crustaceans or something. Biology is weird, y'all. We're almost at Virgil's place, we just got to deal with the Deathclaw outside. And you can bet that I'm not getting close to it if I can help it. This is going to take a while.
It's all over.
Luckily for me, some stingwings got involved and finally killed the Deathclaw for me. Thanks guys, your reward is murder. Now, where are the remains of the Deathclaw? I want its meat and hands. Oh, speak of the devil, I spot some pointy fingies. I'm not a weirdo, fuck you. He's the one clipping into the ground. Anyway, Virgil, please help me. Kill a courser. Okay. Given that we're now down to just under 4 drums of bullets, I might need to do a bit of an ammo grind again, so... fuck it, that'll do for now. Oh, and by the by, while I was waiting for bullets to be made, I did some cooking, got a level up, and took the 2nd rank of gun nuts. Oh wait, that should have been Lone Wanderer. Next time, I swear to Titan, next time. Let's kill us a Corsair. After, of course, we slaughter our way through some gunners. It is really weird that this supposedly highly trained mercenary outfit don't bother wearing armour half the time. Oh fuck, a legendary. At least this one's already mutated, so it's less of a drag, and we're doing pretty decent damage. It's nothing spellbinding, fewer rounds from a combat rifle or hardened sniper rifle would do the job, but for this run it's pretty good. You know, it feels so weird being able to clear this entire section without having to stop to snack on someone. I do kind of miss our anti-vaxxing people eater, and somehow I'm at a point in my life where that's a perfectly normal sentence. Honestly, this whole section goes incredibly smoothly. The missile launcher asshole is taken out quickly, and once again the minigun shines in a claustrophobic environment. In this particular instance, it's actually kind of living up to the fact that it's supposed to be an anti-crowd weapon. Damn it, I should have been paying better attention to my health. Guess who's back for more? I'll give you a hint, she has a giant gun and is very mentally unstable. But yeah, this time I had no trouble getting to the top. Hey Corsa, did I ever tell you why I stopped making dioramas of historical events using small plastic bricks? It's because I needed to let go of the past. He was dying to hear that joke. Anyway, the Corsa died and I've got its chip. Now we have to decide what faction we're going to go with to try and build the signal interceptor, and then we'll probably just do the rest of the game with that faction. So, what's it going to be? Oh cool, the Nazi. Anyway, I leveled up, so I'm going to put the point onto Armourer. That way I can build better armour and... oh, right, yeah, fuck. Lone Wanderer. That's what I want. Fuck's sake. You know, no, next time. I promise. Next time. Anyway, we're joining the Brotherhood of Steel. I mean, first things first, we're going to have to find the railroad to have the Corsa chip analysed. Yeah, fuck it, we'll just do that real quick. Hi, Desdemona. I'm definitely not going to kill you later. Could you analyse this chip for me? And that's done. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. I'm going to do war crimes to you later. Now, because the ammo grind is already getting tiring, I want to go on one last big one so that I won't have to do it for the rest of the game. So let me just take a brief moment. So I've been a bit busy. After quite a long time of staring at these two forges, I got us up to 20,320 bullets. Before I settled in to stare at the machines for several hours, I did build a small town in Starlight Drive-In, not to actually use, just to get me some level up points. I fully admit I got very carried away here. I kind of forgot what I was supposed to be doing. I spent about an hour doing this. And I don't even plan to populate it, it's just going to be a ghost town. At least I got a level up out of it. That's got to be worth all the wood, concrete and glass I ended up buying. I wasted so much money on this project. All this place is meant to be is a water farm. I did a few quests in the meantime that were actually intended to help me. First and foremost, I went to a satellite array to kill some raiders because I was certain one of them had a unique minigun. I was wrong. That's not how you cow, Bethesda. I then remembered that the minigun I wanted was actually a reward for the Big Dig quest, so I went and did that. and spent a lot of bullets doing that, because most of the enemies down here are absolute bullet sponges. I tried to hang back and leave most of the fighting to the NPCs who came with me, but that just led to me getting killed by a Mirelurk. Oh cool, even my death glitched out, well done Bethesda. But yeah, I got the gun I wanted out of all of this. Friends, enemies and entities, I present to you the Ashmaker. Alongside its standard damage, it also does 15 points of fire damage per shot. After that, I built a second ammo forge and went back to the robbing the bank buying stuff cycle, with only the briefest of breaks to test a theory I had. That being that I could use the shredder without needing to use any bullets, and yes, you absolutely can use the minigun like it's a fucking drill, and that makes me way happier than it should. I'm willing to bet other people probably already knew this, but yay, I'm finally at the party. You know, a full 10 years later. But now with all of that done, I'm in a much better place with my ammo, and I hope to not have to do it again for the rest of the playthrough. If I run out of these 20,000 bullets, that's it. I'm not firing any more bullets. I'm just gonna melee my way out. And during that time, I managed to get myself to level 19, so I have 4 whole points to spend. I'll take the next rank of Armourer, I'll throw a point onto Life Giver, and the other 2 points are finally going on to Lone Wanderer. Now, because we're doing a Brotherhood of Steel run, I have to go and help Paladin dance. We still need the deep range transmitter to actually tell the Pridwin he's alive. And now that I've got a gun that spits both lead and fire, I'm really looking forward to getting to test it out on something. Ooh, that was quite nice. I mean, it's hard to say the minigun is good when you have to go out of your way to get a unique— what the fuck was that? To get a unique variant, but at least the variant itself is quite good. The Ashmaker makes absolute mincemeat of the Synth Invasion Force. It really helps that we're now at a point where we're basically doing 28 damage per shot. Don't get me wrong, that's still half as good as a moderately upgraded rifle, but at least the bullets I worked so hard to make are finally pulling their weight. So, I've been a bit busy, but yeah, almost as soon as we began, we're done. Dance offers me the opportunity to join the Brotherhood of Steel, and I say yes. I'm already using a big gun, I might as well also use big armour, so off to the Pridwin we go, arriving just in time to catch Arthur Maxim in the middle of one of his speeches, which we're going to skip because during my first playthrough of this game, every time I returned to the Pridwin after completing a Brotherhood of Steel mission, Arthur Maxim was giving this same speech, and I've just now remembered that. So now all I have to do is check in with the local officers and I get my suit of power armour, and to my pleasant surprise, this Proctor boy here is carrying minigun ammo. Before I hop into a suit of power armour though, I am going to quickly make sure I look the part. There we go, now I'm a Brotherhood of Steel Knight. With my check-ins done, I hit level 20 and decided to throw the point onto the final rank of Life Giver. If there's one thing I miss about Brick above all else, it was the fact that after a while all I had to do was fast travel away from somewhere and I'd basically heal back to full. Anyway, it's time to attack Fort Strong and secure the Fat Man shells hiding within. As we saw in via Vertibird, I have to think the Brotherhood of Steel was probably the best playthrough we can do if we're using a minigun. Not only does every Vertibird carry one by default, but you can buy a fair amount of ammo from the Proctor guy back at base, which I really wish I knew before I spent several hours building bullets, but oh well. By which I mean I wish I knew the Proctor thing, not the Vertibird thing. I knew the Vertibirds had miniguns. Honestly, despite the fact that I've been playing this game for the better part of a decade, it's shocking how much about it I actually don't know. And it's even more shocking how much about it I misremember. Anyway, between my minigun's damage output and my power armor, clearing out Fort Strong goes pretty smoothly. I basically just stood on these stairs and held down the fire button until everything stopped moving. Again, it's not as efficient as other weapons, but it definitely works. Time to go report our success. I report mission success to Elder Maxim. He's pretty happy, I guess. It's hard to read his face. Of course, I told him about the whole plan to infiltrate the Institute with the Signal Interceptor. He's not on board just yet. You have to get the Brotherhood to like you a little more. At least he wasn't until I started a brand new conversation with him. Right after that last conversation with him, now he's suddenly very open to the idea. Alright, you know what, I don't care how we got there, we're there. You can now speak to Proctor Ingram, who's going to help us assemble the damn thing. First up, let's just build the platform. There we go. Now for the relay dish. There we go. Although now I am missing a few final components. Luckily enough, I know where to get them. First up, we go to Fort Hagen. That's where the military-grade circuit board can be found. Right there. There we are. Now I just need a biometric scanner, which can be found in most hospitals, so we're going to go to Starlight Drive and walk up to Malden Centre. On the way, stopping to tussle with some mutants, a bunch of glowing mole rats, and the occasional feral. Now we've just got to deal with the mutants at Malden Centre. Luckily enough, going inside will mean we're in a claustrophobic environment again, so most of my shots will actually hit their targets. Yeah, run away from this shit ass. Honestly, I'm actually kind of having a good time with the minigun. Just watch how I melt this legendary enemy like it's nothing. Now that we're at level 21, we can take the next rank of Heavy Gunner, so my damage is only going to get better. Plus, let's add to the fact that since I put the Shredder on my gun, if an enemy makes the mistake of getting too close, they're also getting hit with unstoppable melee damage. Seriously, once you invest properly, the minigun can actually be quite good. Like I said before, the only real drawback is its ammo consumption. Well, that and the embarrassingly short effective range, but that's a trope of miniguns in video games anyway, so it's not really just a Fallout 4 problem. Anyway, after one final shopping trip to get a couple of pieces for the last generator I needed, we can finally hook everything together and begin our infiltration. And you know what? want to sell the subterfuge, I'm not gonna wear my Brotherhood of Steel uniform. Yep, I'm just casual wastelander TM. Hey, what do you reckon it's gotta be like to go through the signal interceptor? I mean, it's basically disassembling you molecule by molecule and reassembling you elsewhere. Does it hurt? Is it discomfort? Am I dying? And now I have to wonder, if you have a sci-fi universe that's also got a confirmed afterlife and you keep teleporting all over the place, every time you teleport, does like a version of your soul go to an afterlife because you basically get killed in one location and reassembled elsewhere? Or does your soul go back into your body? Or does your body develop a new soul based on the last soul? Veronica, please stop going down this thought journey. Anyway, as you can see, we safely made it into the Institute. We think this kid is our son. He's not. He's a synth. The old guy's our son. What a shock. I'm only saying that, of course, because I've played this game multiple times. Although, to be fair, it's not like it's the hardest twist to see coming. Anyway, we now have to convince Father Sean that we're on his side until we eventually blow this place up. And whilst I go off to meet the section heads to convince everyone that I'm part of the team now, can we just once again acknowledge that blowing up the Institute is completely antithetical to the Brotherhood of Steel's goal to preserve technology? It goes so against their entire doctrine, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't claim to want to preserve technology and learn from it if you then go and destroy technology that you could have learned from. Oh, and by the way, we're supposed to recruit Madison Lee for the Brotherhood of Steel whilst we're here, so we're going to quickly do that. You know, Madison Lee, the character from Fallout 3, who was there in Fallout 3. She's a bit hesitant at first, given that she's left the Brotherhood of Steel twice now, and at this point we're kind of starting to sound like a really desperate ex. She's not ready to turn her back on the Institute because they've treated her quite well. We need to bring her proof that the Institute isn't as great as it says it is, and that Father Sean is up to no good, which means it's time for a trip to bioscience. I had to come here anyway to meet the section head. I might as well do some more while I'm in the neighbourhood. Let's see how well this Assaultron stands up to a flame-spitting minigun. Better than I hoped. And now it's up giving me danger cuddles. And this fucker actually starts dodging my attacks. How dare you? That is so rude. I mean, a fat lot of good it did you in the long run, but still, I worked hard to make those bullets, and you just dodging them makes me feel like you didn't respect our relationship. The subtext is I fucked the robot. Anyway, lying on a table in Brian's former lab is the exact proof we need to show Madison Lee that Sean is in fact a piece of shit. If you didn't know that the Institute are behind the super mutants that are appearing in the Commonwealth, then now you do, and basically they use that as a means of disposing of people they didn't like. And as director, Sean signed off on all of it. With the tape delivered to Dr. Lee, she agrees to leave and join us in the Brotherhood, and Sean doesn't suspect a thing because apparently this building full of smart people is really stupid. Naturally, Sean gave us some quests to do for the Institute, but if I can avoid doing them, I'm absolutely going to. So I report to the Elder and show him that I'm not dead. I hit level 22, shove the point onto rank 2 of Medic, then pop down to the airport to see Proctor Ingram so she can introduce us to the thing that's going to win us the war against the Institute, Liberty Prime. Or, you know, the wreckage of Liberty Prime. So our next set of missions is going to be about rebuilding this giant robot. To get this project on the ground properly, we do have to convince Madison Lee to actually, you know, help the Brotherhood and not just stand around occupying the same space as them. It's nothing a bit of casual intimidation can't achieve. I guess when you're... What the fuck is going on with the door over there? Huh? No, it's normal now. Okay then. Damn it, now I lost my train of thought. Hey Proctor, Dr. Lee is on board, so what do you want me to do? Apparently I have to now go and find an arsenal of nuclear bombs. Without those, what will Liberty Prime huck like footballs at his enemies? I suppose he could just pick up a car and huck that at an enemy, but off to the merry old glowing sea again. Hey Deathclaw, think fast. Huh, for some reason that was less fun than I wanted it to be. Ah well, let's just quickly pop it on Virgil and give him that serum. See, I remembered this time. Back to the quest. Along the way there are a few stingwings, but that's about the biggest threat I have to face. Then we arrive at our objective, which on my very first playthrough of Fallout 4, I thought it was some sort of alien structure. But no, it's just a building full of ghouls. Okay, it does also have nuclear bombs that we're trying to reach. It has something interesting. There is a rad worshipper guarding the stockpile, but I convince him I'm here on Atom's behalf to deliver division to the world, and he fucking buys it. But now that we've located the bombs, all we have to do is plant this little signal thingy here so the Brotherhood can come and pick them up. With that all done and dusted, I return to the Brotherhood, who are just about to give Liberty Prime a bit of a test. Not a full test, mind, I just want to check his systems are actually working. He's still missing a rather vital piece of the puzzle, and that's his own power source. He's currently leeching off the Pridwin. And whilst I probably could gather enough metal to build an extension cord that would guide him from the Pridwin all the way to the Institute, I think there are better ways to do this. And for doing all this, we've hit level 23. I think I'm gonna take... fuck it, we're just gonna throw a point onto perception to increase our VATS accuracy. But now, before we can actually go and get that final piece for Liberty Prime, we have a situation to deal with. Paladin Dance, our friend, our mentor, our lover, in certain lifetimes anyway, not this one, I'm not fucking anyone, except the robot. Turns out he's been a simp all along. Oh no, what a terrible happenstance. Guess I gotta go and murder him now. I mean, I suppose I could convince him to run away, but I can't be bothered. I didn't spend hours building minigun ammo to not use it. On the way to Dad's, I stopped to deal with a group of ghouls and then turned around to find a Deathclaw fighting a Brotherhood boy behind me. I did try to save my brother in arms, but it didn't work. What I can do is avenge him. Avenge him slowly, anyway. Wait, what the hell? Someone else is shooting. Oh, for fuck's sake, it better not be a sentry. Oh, there's some more Brotherhood. Your guy kinda ran ahead and, I'm sure he's fine. Look, he's still moving. Anyway, after a relatively short jaunt, I find where Dance is hiding out. Oh, cool, turrets. And if you are doing this quest, just a bit of advice, be careful. These turrets do quite a lot of damage, because the guy inside assumes the people trailing him are in power armor. So Dance, you're a synth, and that's not good. Hold on a second, your hood doesn't actually connect to your outfit. Come on, Fallout 3 got this right. See, now I have to kill you because you're both a synth and your outfit annoys me. So, yeah. He fucking burst. I know it's supposed to be a heartfelt and fairly serious moment, but that just made me smile. Hey Maxon, I did that murder you asked me to do. As a reward, I get to wear Dance's power armor. Although not Dance's real power armor that's coded as unbreakable. No, I get this knockoff shit. Ah well, it's still a decent prize, I suppose. Anyway, at least now we can finish working on Liberty. Oh, right, yeah, we have to get rid of the railroad and steal their robot. I genuinely forgot that this is something I'd have to do. When I'm not playing as them, I tend to forget the railroad or even an endgame faction. So let's get this over with. Sorry folks, I know as a faction you have like the only halfway decent goal of Fallout 4, but a fashy little twink told me you needed to die. And it turns out Bullet here isn't a particularly intellectual gal. There we go, we found the robot the Brotherhood of Steel wanted for reasons. It's a predictive analytic machine, it does like predictive algorithm stuff. There's a good reason, I just never absorb it. There we go, one robot delivered, one faction eliminated. Only one more to go, because we all know at this point the Minutemen consist of like one dude. We can finally move on to collect the beryllium agitator from Mass Fusion. We're officially in the final stretch. One of the annoying things about doing this mission with the Brotherhood of Steel though is this particular sequence. We have to kill all of the simps on the roof using the minigun on a vertibird. A minigun that can't hit anything for dick. I was pressing the X button to try and jump out of the vertibird so I could drop to the ground and just, storm the building on foot, but the game won't let you do that, so we have to do it this way. At least I'm not wasting my main minigun ammo. Eventually I wipe out enough of the forces to be able to finally drop onto the building. Now all we have to do is survive the elevator ride, and thank Titan all of these sims walk just inside my minigun's effective range. If any of them just fought to step half a meter away from me, they'd probably avoid most of my bullets. Once I hit the lobby I make a beeline straight for the basement access. I could stand here and help the Brotherhood of Steel forces fight, but I want to get this quest over with, mostly because in my experience, Mass Fusion tends to be where the game likes to crash a lot. It burns, it burns, it burns, it burns, it burns, it burns, it burns. There we go, I've got the agitator. Of course this sentry bot has a few things to say about that, but between my giant suit of armour and my minigun's damage output, I'm not too worried about its complaints. I mean, look, its health is practically melting. Ow. The Assaultrons aren't much of a problem either. Since they close the distance really fast, all I have to do is vaguely aim in their direction and they're guaranteed to die in a few seconds. Neither of them even got to use their face laser on me. Anyway, Ingram, we got what we came for, now let's get the fuck out of Dodge. It's finally time to bring to bear the greatest weapon the Brotherhood of Steel has at its disposal. A giant commie-hating robot. Let me just slip the power core in, nice and sexy like. I'ma fuck this robot too. Now we just hit the big red button, and just like that, Liberty Prime is brought to life. Let's go. For this next section, we're supposed to be providing Liberty Prime with fire support, but honestly, I don't think he can actually die, so I feel kinda useless here. It takes me multiple bullets what it takes him one face laser / one nuclear bomb to achieve, so at best I'm just here as his emotional support human. No, Liberty, don't go in the water, you didn't put your wellies on, you're gonna rust. For goodness sake. Alright, I'm coming. As much as I appreciate the power armor lets you breathe and walk under the water, I really wish they did something with this mechanic, like actually had something down here for us to do, not just a really bland looking water floor thing. I'm good at words, fuck you. Anyway, we do a quick stop by this giant penis to pay our respects, and then it's back to ambling after Liberty Prime as he crushes all resistance. Look, the spectacle of this section is really cool and everything, but the entire section itself is not all that much fun. Plus, this scene is literally lifted out of Fallout 3. Eventually though, and with basically no effort put in on my part, we reach the Institute and provide fire support for Liberty Prime while he carves us a fresh entry orifice. Entering the Institute, I hit level 25, and decide to throw a point onto the refractor perk. We then fight through an army of simps who are woefully underprepared for us, that. I decide to go full Dalek and exterminate everything I see, including these replicants of one of my favourite animals. We clear out the main atrium, I go upstairs to see Sean, I say my tearful goodbye and then do the usual thing. Ah, he didn't burst. Then it's just a nice leisurely stroll down towards the Institute's main reactor. I mean, the synths do try to mount some sort of defense, but would you believe that it really doesn't go their way? They were just so not prepared for this, I almost feel bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Institute are a bunch of monsters, but this is just sad. Let's just plant the bomb and get out of here. You know, if the interaction mechanic wants to behave. There we go. Damn it, I'm growing 3 extra toes. Get us out of here. Almost done. Now I just have to tell this kid the bad news. Sorry, kiddo, I happen to be a fascist in this run, so I guess I have to leave you behind to die because you're a simp. Titan, this always makes me feel so dirty. Can we get out of here, please? At least his proximity to the bomb will mean it's over quickly. And with that rather depressing note, we've completed the run. That was the Minigun Run. So what, if anything, have we learned? Well, we learned that one variant is actually pretty good so long as you have supporting perks. We've learned it takes a fucking long time to build up enough ammo to reliably use the thing. And I think we've learned that when all is said and done, whilst the gun isn't anywhere near as pitiful as I thought it was going to be, it still didn't quite meet the laser musket's heights of overperforming. I mean, it definitely surpassed its expectations, but then again, those expectations were incredibly low. A good question is, how likely am I to use this gun in a regular playthrough now, and I don't see myself using this gun ever again. Again, a large problem was the ammo. 5mm ammo is just not that common until you're about level 20, and when you are level 20, there are better options for firearms out there. And if you do end up going down the production route and try to build your ammo so you can avoid having to find it, then you've got to deal with the fact that these builders won't keep building ammo whilst you're outside of their render distance. So unless you've got a lot of stuff to do around them, you basically just have to sit here staring at the thing while it spits out 10 bullets at a time. And based on what I know, there's no way to increase this number, you know, outside of building a second ammo press. Either way, you basically have to settle in and just stare at them for a while. But yeah, when all is said and done, the minigun just isn't worth the investment to use. It burns through bullets way too fast, it's ridiculously heavy, it's only effective at short range because its accuracy is dogshit, and the one unique version that you can reliably find still isn't amazing, it's just kind of better than a regular minigun. It wasn't a particularly hard run, it just wasn't all that fun. I suppose my final thoughts on the minigun are that it was better than I thought it would be, but that's really not saying much. I definitely now have a greater understanding of why the community mostly ignores this weapon, but that's us done. Do let me know if you enjoyed this journey in the comments. I'm absolutely not taking this character to any DLC, I truly cannot be bothered. After I gathered all the B-roll for this little post-amble, I was down to like 300 bullets, and I don't want to spend another several in-game weeks building ammo. Thank you so much for watching, I absolutely love that you're here, and don't worry, I'll make sure the next challenge run is actually, you know, challenging.